we have a bunch of whale fossils. The Paliverdes Peninsula here in San Pedro has yielded loads of marine fossils, like this whale vertebra here. There's what I think maybe a skull. So you have the rostrum, looks like a rostrum there, and then kind of the back like the cranium. Some more vertebra, like ribs. Well, this is definitely a partial skull. You have the rostrum or upper jaw here, and you have a lower jaw and a lower jaw. You know, but what's most cool about this stuff is this. This is fossilized baleen. You know, baleen or whalebone. You know, we saw a little bit on the table earlier. Is made of keratin, the same material as your fingernails, and it's a softer tissue that almost never fossilizes. And in fact, the only instances of fossil baleen I know of come from here in San Pedro. And there's actually a cooler example of fossil baleen, so let's go take a look at that. Alright, here we go. I said we had a... Alright, here we go. I said we had a cooler instance of fossilized baleen. Here's the partial fossilized skull of a whale. If we come in here, you can kind of see the baleen, this sort of wavy structure, you know, on this fossil whale skull. If we come down here, we have another instance of fossilized baleen, much more dramatic, much more, you know, clear cut. And look at that. I really like their whale section here. So here we have a 1-year-old gray whale, complete with baleen. We have a white-sided dolphin. We have a pilot whale, Pacific pilot whale here. So what I like about this is they have the skeletons, but they have the fins and flukes outlined. And of course, a little human diver for comparison. Cool stuff. Many species of whales have different types of baleen for how they feed. This is a blue whale baleen. Blue whales feed mainly on krill, which are little shrimp-like animals. So you see they have all this hair, really fine hair to help catch stuff. So then here we have mink whale baleen, you know, which eat mainly small fish. So the baleen doesn't have to be as fine. Because there's two types of feeding behavior in baleen whales: gulpers and skimmers. So that's fin whale baleen, and here's humpback whale baleen. Basically, gulpers. There we go. Yeah, humpback baleen. Basically, gulpers. They come upon their prey. They open their mouths, taking in a whole bunch of water and food. You know, gulping basically. And as you can see with this humpback, they then force the water out through their baleen plates. Water passes through the baleen, the food doesn't. They scrape off the food with their tongues and swallow it. Then you have the other kind, which is, they're called skimmers. I gotta really back up here. This is bowhead whale baleen, or right whale baleen. Yeah, this is right whale baleen. No, damn it, it is bowhead. Damn it, I always get the two confused. But anyway, they have these really long baleen plates. I've heard that some can be up to 10 feet long. And basically, they have a very high arched skull that these baleen plates just hang from. The whale just swims along with its mouth open, and the little bits of food, plankton, just get caught on the baleen as it's going along. It's not just taking it all in one go like a gulper would. But interestingly, there's actually a third type of whale feeding. And the only whale that does that is the gray whale. This is gray whale baleen. No, but that's where we're going to see him. And they're what are called benthic feeders. They basically go onto the ocean floor and they take in a bunch of sand in their mouth. They scoop up a whole bunch of sand with their mouth and sieve it out, basically looking for these little critters called amphipods. And you kind of see here how they do it. They kind of swim along the bottom on their side, and they scoop up a whole bunch of mud and sieve it out. I love this. This is the wonderfully creative way of showing how, you know, pelicans feed. They fly up into the air once they spot some fish. They dive bomb it. They dive down and down at high speed, and then once they hit the water, so you can see they open their mouth, which then expands their throat pouch, taking in I think something like up to 6 pints of water. You know, and any fish that might be in there. And unfortunately, as the pelican drains its mouth to leave just the food behind, they're temporarily vulnerable. And seagulls have been known to steal food right out of the pelican's mouth when it's in that vulnerable state. Pelican's rock. And here's the leopard shark. You know, staple little animal for an aquarium. And back there we have a swell shark and what looks like a ray. You know, sharks, rays, and skates belong to, you know, what are called chondrichthyes or cartilaginous fish. Because the skeletons are made of cartilage, not bone. And, well, back to this guy, swell shark. They're called that because when they're threatened, they'll wedge themselves between a rock and they'll inflate their bodies, puff it up. And that makes them just impossible to get out. And the predator will just, you know, say, screw this, and go find something else to eat. Leopard shark. And here we have the horn shark. And reflections. But basically these guys get their name from, I don't know if you can see it, that little spine on their dorsal fin. And if this animal is swallowed, it'll ram that spine into the roof of the throat of the animal doing the swallowing. It hurts like hell, the animal spits it out. Some reflections. Anyway, here's more leopard shark. Check this out. This is a 1-year-old great white shark caught off the coast of California, Southern California. See, it's only a year old, but it's already like at least 3 feet long. And here we go. He's already got teeth needed to shred flesh. Here's a California Moray eel. These guys can be nasty. They can grow up to 6 feet long. Males and females mate for life. You know, they live in little rocky hollows. You know, where they snatch fish that swim by. These guys are almost like alien. They have kind of like a set of secondary jaws in their throat. Then when they're catching prey, those jaws will come forward and give them extra grip in grabbing said fish. Yep. Check that out. Shrimp molt. It's crustaceans, you know, crabs and lobsters and stuff. Because they have an exoskeleton, a rigid exoskeleton, they can't really grow like we grow. When they grow, they have to shed that outer shell, or else they'll get awfully cramped in there. And they'll leave behind, like I said, this empty shell, this husk. And then they'll be vulnerable for a little while. Their body will be soft until it can harden, so they'll usually go hide someplace. There's a shrimp. It's probably the shrimp, one of the shrimps that left that molt behind. These are moon jellies. I think how they got that name speaks for itself.
If you have ticket number 31692, you are
California two-spot octopus. Octopus. Octopussy. Which I never really understood why they called it that. I'm not going to read into it. If you look here, you see the remains of his victims, because these guys eat crabs, and holy crap, is that what I think it is? Wow, octopus eggs, incredible. seen those in an aquarium before. You know, whether it's a little tiny blue-ringed octopus or all the way up to the Pacific giant octopus. You know, octopuses will get into rock cavities called dens. You know, the female will lay, you know, all these eggs, and then she will not go anywhere. She will sit there and tend those eggs, not even going out to find food for herself. So that when the babies hatch, she basically dies.
We have a special surprise for you now.
It's a very, very committed mother.
A special program in which you're going to have an opportunity to hatch babies running right out of their eggs. In order to do this,
you could use 1 or 2 fingers normally, but the urchin, I recommend 1. When you touch the urchin, that's the one that looks like a porcupine. It's purple or red. It has a lot of spines. You can take your finger and touch like this if you want, but that's not as much fun. If you put your finger just between the tips of the spines, the urchin will give you a little hug. Now, don't push down or you could break the spines. Now, the next animal, before you start touching, because I know it gets kind of noisy, what is this? Does anybody know?
No.
Somebody must know. I see a
Anemone.
This is the anemone's mouth. Do you like people sticking their fingers in your mouth?
No.
So don't do that to our anemone. But on the outside, the thing that looks like flower petals, those are stinging tentacles. Now, has anybody ever touched the stinging tentacle? And you live to tell about it?
Yep.
Okay. Well, this kind of anemone is not that dangerous, but it could hurt you a lot if you didn't bring your armor. So everybody look at your fingers. Do you have skin on your fingers? That's the armor you need. If you were a tiny little animal swimming by, you might not be so lucky. So everybody,
So we
I don't think we've got anemones scattered around evenly enough for people that all touch anemones right now. Move around a little bit so everybody gets a chance to be in different areas. You can touch it and get a hug from an urchin and get stung by an anemone. So go ahead. What you call the urchin skeleton.
Can't see it too well, but that's a Moray eel.
Technically, it's not a shell because part of its body
Nasty
actually
critters.
is on the outside to help it move those spines. Does anybody have something near them that looks like a big eyeball? This is the shell.
Leopard shark.
If you've got one near you, raise your hand so people know where to look afterwards. Do they eat meat? Plants. Good. So you can see it better on those little bat stars, like the gold and orange one in the picture. The one on the right is a carnivore. That eats what? Meat, right. So you can see it easier on the little bat stars. And you see that spot. And all those sea stars can see with that eye spot is light and shadow. Oh, you know what I never told you? Please don't pick anything up or turn anything over.
There, see him, Maya?
Maya, look.
He went back. I think the shark is too scary for her.
The little guys you see that sometimes pop up out of the water, those are a jack mackerel. The bright orange fish down there, that's our California state marine fish called a Garibaldi. And that lazy guy down there with the stripes, that's a flag rockfish.